Hi, welcome to Anchor Moment Minutes. I am super excited because one of my favorite authors, Charlene Costanzo, is my guest today, and she's going to share how someday is now. If you have a dream on your heart that you have not acted on yet, today is your day and be a great episode for you to watch. Hang on. Hi, Charlene.
Gina.
It's such an complete pleasure to have you on my show today. I have to admit, I'm a little starstruck because you have been an incredible mentor in my life. After I met you at that convention and got your 12 Gifts of Birth book, and I got on your email list, I would get your emails every day. I have read them every day for over 10 years. And I want to tell you, there are days where there's something on my heart and I'm worried and I wake up in the middle of the night and I start praying and talking to God. And then I'll go, oh, God, do you have an answer for me? Because I know your touchstone moment is going to show up between 2 and 3 in the morning in my email. And when I open that email up, it's like I'm sitting and having a cup of coffee with God. And He is sharing with me what was in my heart. And the answer has come so many times. And that's one of the places that I get my little mini miracles, my touchstone moments where I hear God in my life has been through you without you even knowing it, how incredibly important that is. And I want to ask you today, our topic is someday right now, because that's a little bit about your journey of when you started your touchstone moments. It didn't all happen at once. Can you tell us your very beginning of how God touched your heart to do the 12 Gifts of Birth?
I'm so honored to share this. But I have to tell you one other little thing, Gina. God's at work both sides of that equation, because when you sometimes write to me and say, your touchstone today really spoke to me, maybe that was a day when I was like, is anybody really reading this? Gee, should I keep doing this? I don't know if I'm doing. So, anyway, you have supported by thanking me and sharing that. I just keep going. So thank you. And
yeah, we've been like email pen pals, because seriously, some of them I'm just in tears. I can't believe that your touchstone moment was so incredibly perfect of what God would tell me that day. And I know my answer was in it, and it would bring me such relief. Even when she's in the hospital, she has her husband sometimes writes them for her, and he'll say, this is Frank. Here's today Charlie's touchstone. She's in the hospital, and but we wanted to get it out. And I always thank him and say, oh, thank you so much, because I'm looking for these. Please don't ever stop.
Got a different style. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us,
everyone, but how it started.
Yeah.
That was the question. So it was 1987, and our daughters were in high school, 16 and 17 years old, not home from school yet. Frank's at work, and I'm just putting dishes away. And all of a sudden, I get hit with this like a wake-up experience. And it was that I realized the years had passed so quickly. I was just learning. I knew like the lessons more clearly.
Yeah.
Unconditional love. That's the most important thing. It's more important than the bassoon lessons, the this, the that. Make sure they're doing well in school. I mean, all that's important. But it was unconditional love, and realizing that each child needs to be is a one of a kind in all of eternity. And I realized as a mom, actually, I'm still learning that.
Oh, I know. We still are learning every day, aren't we?
Like 50, and I'm still learning things. But I realized then that I had like a life review of parenting, and I saw times that, they were chattering and I'm folding clothes, doing things, and I wasn't really paying attention. So that's another thing I realized, like make the time, maybe not all the time, I have to get the chores done, but to sit and really listen. anyway, I had a lot of realizations line up then. And I thought, have I been a good mother? Yeah, and my answer was yes, but I did my best. I couldn't change anything, but I really did see how I could do some things better, like, the unconditional love and the quality time and listening. And so I said, what do I do now? I can't change anything. I want to give them something before they go on to the next stage of life and throughout life, to know what they have within them. It was kind of, I wanted them to know some things I wished I had been saying from the time they were born. And I woke up I had another wake up experience, but this was from sleep. And I had a dream, and it was like the most blissful dream, this like a kingdom. And it was just this beautiful place. And I sensed that I was getting this message about, it was about gifts, and it was naming them. And I heard some of them. And then there was a may you after each one. May you use a gift in a certain way. So I quickly made a little handmade book for them and gave it to them. And I called it.
So when you were having this dream, and it was a dream.
Yes.
And may you have, and it was mentioning these different gifts.
It was kind of like a story in a dream, like
a story in a dream.
Yeah. And
when you woke up, you wrote it down.
Yes. And it's in the form of a fable, once upon a time, a long time ago, and it tells about what the fairy godmothers wished, they want all the children to know. This is what they want you to know. This is the form that I told my children. Because, sometimes if you say to your children, oh, you're so talented. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, yeah, you have to say that. You're our mother. But when you read a story, or somebody else's mother tells you something, but so this little story delivers this message that you are valuable and you're born gifted and talented with gifts for life. So I realized it's not only did I feel wonderful about giving it to my children, but I thought, I think many children need to hear this message, not necessarily in my form, but I thought mine was pretty good because it came from, it really came from spirit and love. So I said, I'm going to get this published. And I sent it out to a lot of publishers, and it got rejection, really nice rejections. But they were like, we don't know what to do with this book. It's a very different kind of book. So I said, I will do this myself someday. And for 10 years went by. And I just kept saying someday. And during that time, though, I kept making these little books that I was dreaming, what might it look like, and where am I going to get the money, and how am I going to do this? But finally, something happened just like that moment.
That dream day.
The dream time and the wake up. You know what, this is my third wake up. I realize these are all wake up calls. We have wake up calls in life. And this one was near the end of my mom's life. She had been, she had leukemia, and she was doing her best, with that. And she lived for 3 years, and then she started to decline quickly. And I flew from Phoenix to New Jersey to be with her, and I'm at her bedside, and she wanted to go for a little walk very slowly around the corridor.
In the hospital.
At the hospital, yeah. So I walked with her. This is like an anchor moment, a touchstone story. The memory I have seeing her, I can see everything, her little soft sweater and everything, we're both pushing her IV pole. And as we went around, she stopped at each door. And if a person was awake, she waved and smiled.
Aww.
And if they were sleeping, she made the sign of the cross blessing, very from her heart. And like she was giving a papal blessing.
Like a little female pope.
Blessing. He was really, but it was so beautiful. And then we stopped at the nurse's station, and she thanked them for their care and their kindness. I get her back, help her in bed, and before falling asleep, she said, some people don't have anybody to visit, I noticed, or it appears that. And she said, oh, thank you for being here with me. And she fell asleep. And so I was going to pick up, I brought a paperback novel with me to read.
Okay.
And then I thought, I don't want to just escape and have the time. A lot of this is about time, the passage of time. what are we doing? Am I going to sit there and just read, you know, a novel while my mom, in this precious moment? And I was thinking about how, even though she was weak and had little life left, she was really using her gifts and talents and being so kind to people. And, you know, we sometimes overlook those things, and they're big.
Yeah.
You know? Well, I put the book down and I just sat and looked at her. There was sunlight falling perfect.
From the window?
Yeah, dappled light on her body like a blessing. And the window was open a little bit, and I heard, it was September, and I could hear children coming home from school that play, and I heard a lawnmower, and I could smell fresh cut grass. And somehow all those senses and the emotion of with my mom, it was like an eternal moment. And I then heard something in my body, and it was, what you do with your time and talent is critically important. Pay attention. And I knew I knew two things. One is someday. I knew what that meant. It was someday. Someday was now. I also knew, I want to share this because I understood then this is not just for me. This is for all. What you do with your time and talent is critically important. Pay attention. And, you know, it may not be today, it may be tomorrow, but, you know, pay attention. Those dreams, we're here to express them, to live them. So I said, that's it. I'm going to quit after my mom died. And, you know, I gave that a little time, and I went to my boss and said, I'm leaving. And I was just starting to make money. It was becoming lucrative for them and for me. And but I said, I'm leaving because I have this dream. I'm going to publish this book. And my boss said, you know, it's a noble thing you want to do, and I want to encourage you. But, you know, you should stay here because how much do you have saved? $50,000? And I'm trying not to have my knees shake or like my face get red, because that was the number. I thought I might need that amount because
50,000
photographers, and you know, the book is
so many pictures.
It's an expensive book to hire. And,
yeah, it's a high quality hardcover book with pictures. Yeah.
I went out on every photo shoot we did. It was an incredible labor of love, but I knew that it was going to cost something like that. And I had 5,000, and here he's telling me you need 500,000.
Wow, that 50,000 wasn't even enough. You would need 500,000, and you only have 5,000.
You can't start a business.
Oh my goodness.
You want to be a publisher, you can't do that with $50,000. And I'm thinking of my little 5,000. But I knew, you know, I just knew I had to take the leap of faith. And then during that time, it took me a year working on it. But things happened, like amazing things happened, that whenever I was about to do something, and I would hesitate because I wanted to have the money, you know, before I did it, but somehow things happened.
You were following your purpose, the purpose that God put in your heart. And it was so strong. I mean, even at that moment in the hospital room with your mom, to hear that voice inside you say that, that's God speaking through your heart. The time is now. The time is now. And you have free will. You can always say no to God. But when you say yes to act on your purpose, it is amazing. Doors and windows open, and he will help make that purpose come to life if you say yes. And there are naysayers. When you have a dream, there are naysayers. Sometimes the naysayer is yourself. Oh, I can't do that. Or who do I think I am? I can't do that. Or maybe it's a parent who says, oh, you're not good enough to do that, or whatever. Or maybe it's a boss. But if you are still and quiet and pray about it and bring it to prayer, God will let you know. But you still have to be the person to act on it, because you can say no. And I'm so glad you said yes.
One of my favorite quotes is, we take the steps, but God leads the way. So I feel like when you make the decision, someday is now and you're going to do something, I like to think it's like a dance with God. And I'm going to follow, but I'm on the dance floor with you, God.
That's right. That's
Oh,
right.
no.
That's right. And sometimes it doesn't turn out exactly as you plan in your mind, but God will still, He's there. He'll help you. And if it truly is your purpose that He has put on your heart. Now, can you do me a quick favor? Can you tell my viewers maybe just a handful of the 12 gifts of birth?
Oh, well, the first is strength. It's strength, and of course, it's inner strength, and then beauty, inner beauty, strength, beauty, courage, compassion, hope, joy, talent, imagination, reverence, wisdom, love, and faith. I had to do all 12, Gina, because
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't leave out love and faith.
That's right, and it's wonderful. And when she does her email Touchstone moments, it's about one of the 12 that day, just one. And she has a quote and a little story, and then that one. And there are days that there is one strength that you really need more than the others, that you need to pull out and utilize. When I'd be praying to God and there'd be something I'm missing and something that I'm struggling with, by golly, when I'd open up your email, it would be the one talent I need to pull out and use, and it was always the right one at the right time. So thank you so much for blessing us with those. If anyone would like to purchase one of Charlene's books or to get onto her email list, I'm going to put her contact information with her website in the description of this video. And let's end with a prayer today, Charlene, for other people who are out there right now, that there's a dream on their heart. Let's do a special prayer for them. God, please bless our viewers today. Please help them to see the beautiful 12 gifts of birth that you have put into their soul, into their being. Please help them to see the purpose that you have for their life in this season of their life, and help give them that courage to act on it, and help them by opening up doors and windows and helping that path to lead them to their purpose. Even that purpose is to be kind to every person in the hospital that they see, or wherever they are in that moment in their life. Amen. Well, God bless all of you viewers. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this show, give us a like, ring the bell, and subscribe, because we're going to have Charlene back with more Anchor Moment stories. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Please click to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when we post new Anchor Moments videos.